I doubt I shall ever forget the strange series of events that led to my meeting young Vulcan. The peoples of the world had been fearfully whispering about the Ice Lords for the past 10 years, though of course, they had been present long before then. The Deadwalker army, an endless horde of undead creatures under the Ice Lord's command, swept down from the mountains in the north, annihilating all resistance on the continent. Each battle only served to swell their ranks with the defeated dead, and the bloodless world seemed ready to sink into an endless ice age where there would be no place for the living. There were a few who still tried to stand against the invaders. The elves, who had hitherto remained neutral, and the Red Scribes, a small group of scholars who believed their knowledge might be able to tip the scales. The Scribes had recently engaged the services of a group of mercenaries known as the Freeborn Blades, a renowned company who would become even more so after these events. The Blades were to protect them while they performed a ritual which was intended to change the course of the war.
Great scouts. You can smell them from 50 yards away. So here we are. And just think, the captain wanted me to stay and set up camp. I didn't join the Freeborn Blades to stand pots and do their trains. But he knows that. He knows his men, and he knows his powder master hates just hanging around. Setting up camp. Now that's what I call being useful. I honestly believe we'd stay out this damn war till the end. Well, looks like the end just showed up. The Ice Lords have really done it this time. All of Vertiel is on the brink. Nothing will stop the Deadwalkers. Soon there won't be a town left to fall back to, or even a tavern where you can spend your pay. There's no one left to turn back this filthy, stinking tide, if it were even possible. Let's hope our beloved employers can deliver on their promises. If their big ritual thing doesn't pan out, we're all gonna be left standing here with our asses hanging out. A bunch of chatty priests playing Sorcerer's Apprentice against 7 immortal mages. Sounds great. Anyhow, you have to fight fire with fire, so they say. Damn, they're here already. I better warn the others fast.
Hey, enjoy your stroll. Get over here and tell me about it. By the looks of you, I'm guessing it wasn't just a quiet stroll. So, what did you see?
The Deadwalkers are already close. I got one of their scouts.
God damn it, Vulcan! I've told you 100 times, recon means observing and reporting, not charging in and fighting without thinking.
I didn't want him to alert all of the others before we were ready for them.
But what if they'd have killed you? Then you wouldn't have been able to alert us before they were ready to attack us. Think for a second. God's blood. We have to get ready for them. Now that you've finally got your ass back over here, you can prepare some traps. Get Peeler to help you place them around the temple. That'll give us some time, and we'll hear them coming.
Yes, sir, Captain.
And if you have questions, you know where to find me.
3 months without a chance to spend my pay. I'm sick of this goddamn war.
That should do it. I'll give all these to Peeler. He'll he'll figure it out. Hey, Peeler, lend me a hand, will you? We've got to prepare the area before it gets overwhelmed with walking corpses. These are a few treats to welcome our buddies, the Deadwalkers. Booby-trap all the access points, and try not to blow yourself up.
Don't sweat it, I can handle it.
I'm not kidding. If you lose an arm, it's gonna be my ass that gets blamed.
The hobblers are coming! Now!
Drive them back! We must hold the Esplanade! Oh, shite! Here come more of them!
Now they can walk through walls.
You go see how Buffalo is getting along with the scribes. He's meant to be guarding their invoking chamber.
Huh? But, Captain...
Get out of here! And go find Peeler for me while you're gone. I'll give you butt, Captain. Right. Are you coming or what?
Is everything okay, Buffalo?
As long as I can hear them mumbling, everything is okay. One of those dead things managed to get as far as here, but I killed it before it could interrupt them.
That's good news. The captain's holding the front entry, Hawk's on the west wing, I got the east. Got any idea where Peeler is?
I think I saw him over on the east side. You should find him if you head over there.
Thanks. I hope he's still in one piece. And, you might want to check inside the invoking room. We just came across some specters. Those things can go straight through walls, and they might get in there without asking you first.
Is that so?
This position is lost. Retreat! Everyone fall back to the invoking room, and fast!
Concentrate. We almost have it.
Well now, that must be the 5th time I heard him say that. This stupid ritual is taking too goddamn long. Oh, shit, here come the hodlers.
Are you going to be all right?
I'm fine. Worry about those dead walkers.
Are you hurt, Buffalo?
What I need is tomorrow. For now, we just have to protect the ground.
Got it, Sergeant. I'll keep the hostages busy.
Something is wrong. The catalyzer shouldn't do that. Stay away from my daughter! I shall not let thy weakness be our downfall.
Burning. How did I do that? Captain, I think it's time we talked about a promotion.
We don't have time for this, Vulcan. We need to move out before the rest of them get here.
The passes are probably crawling with them already.
There's a passage to the other side of the mountain. It will lead us to the swamp.
The swamp? Oh, that sounds fun. Hey, did anybody see what I just did to that huge fucking monster? I mean, seriously, I fried that thing. I saved our asses, and you're all just, hey, what's for lunch?
I said shut it, Vulcan.
Thou hast fled.
What the?
Thou didst hold the power to face the necromancers, yet thou didst flee.
I had no choice.
No choice. Hast thou even thought of choosing? Thou art fled like a thief, and thou hast left me, the shadow of myself, trapped here in this prison.
I did not create this situation. I'm not even sure I understand what has happened.
The hour for questions is past. Thou must act. It is I who will suffer for thy cowardice. I who will pay for thine fault. I who will face extinction. And if I must die, if the flame is extinguished, our world will die as well.
I will not let the flame die. I am in a war against these necromancers, and at last I have the power to fight them.
What dost thou hope to accomplish in this ridiculous human shell? As it is now, it is useless to us. The flame is not a toy for mewing infants. It exists to reign. Its power must not be stolen from thee. We must reconquer the world hard as swiftly as we may.
Hey, Vulcan, enough of your daydreaming. Move your ass, huh?
Buffalo.
Vulcan, you hear me? Pull your finger out.
Huh? Yeah, I hear you. My head feels like a bomb went off in it.
Well, shake it off. We're still not at the end of this stinking swamp, and I'm not gonna carry you all the way to the village.
Anyway, how come Hawk isn't the one with me here? He's the lead scout. I always go with him.
Hawk is covering the back of the line. So this time, I'm the one who goes with you. You'll get over it.
Let's go.
You lot are about as discreet as a herd of hunchbacks.
I thought that elves were supposed to have superior eyesight. Do we look like stiffs to you, dickhead?
Not yet. But with an arrow sticking out of your throat, I'm certain that even a chatterbox like you could do a passable impression.
And you'd be the next one down.
Possibly. Perhaps I should aim for the largest target first.
Not if you want to keep both your balls.
What have we here? Buffalo in person. Well, that's a good sign.
What's going on here? Who's the scrag with the pointy ears?
Thanks for noticing. I try to keep them sharp. I am called Relmar, and I gather the red-faced fat belly with the filthy beard is none other than the famous Elric, leader of the Freeborn Blades.
They call me the Captain.
All the Freeborn Blades call you Captain Elric. I have no doubt that they do. As for me, I've never had much interest in titles or in military protocol. I judge people by their deeds.
His rank was granted in the field. You seem like you know enough about the Freeborn Blades to know what that means.
I have enough knowledge of your history to know that your leader has made a name for himself. So, yes, call him what you will. The fact that he is your captain concerns only you and those availing themselves of your services.
That's enough. We're not going to stand here bullshitting all night. Just what the fuck are you doing here, Relmar, you horse-tongued bastard?
Looking for you. Well, I began by searching for the Red Scribes. Prince Arundel is wounded. We had to withdraw to Valvanor, where I learned that you were expected. I just wanted to make sure you found your way there.
This is not my first walk in the wilds, arsewipe. As you can see, I'm on the right path, and we've nearly reached our destination.
Captain, those creatures I told you about this morning are gathering nearby. They're probably getting ready to attack us.
Ah, well, those are called chrysalids. They wait until they have gathered enough numbers, and then they overwhelm you. And it would seem your little group is attracting a whole swarm to the village.
Well, we'll give them a welcome.
Actually, in spite of themselves, these creatures do an excellent job of keeping dead walker scouts away without raising any suspicions. If we allow them to gather here and then massacre them, I fear we'll be moving their territory a bit too close to Valvanor, which will lead to our being discovered sooner or later. I suggest we send 1 or 2 men back. This will keep them separated and occupied, while the rest make it to the village. I'm ready to volunteer. If you fear I might try and slip away, I know the area well.
Sounds like a plan to me. Vulcan, you're on it.
I want to go too. The animals and plants in this swamp are extraordinary. And the venom of these chrysalids seems very interesting. I'd love to get a chance to observe them more closely.
Sybil, that is out of the question. Have you lost your mind? It's too dangerous.
Come on, let her off the leash. It'll be good for her. I promise I'll bring her back in one piece.
Vulcan, rule number 2.
We'll see you at the village.
Sybil!
See you later.
They're all around us. Hawk told me a lot about you.
Really? He's not normally much of a talker. Did you torture him or something?
No, I mean, it wasn't a big deal. I just think he has a lot of respect for you.
Look, all us freeborn blades have a name. Leave the past behind, and whatever we were before doesn't matter in the company.
So what do you do now then?
Yeah, you know, I blow things up. Stuff like that.
Maybe you have no record of these animals.
This guy's fucking fearless. Let's help him out before it goes bad for him.
Despite his determination, the knight was in an awkward position. He thanks the mercenary for having assisted him in his task. If he can trust the rumors that he hears around the village, he has before him one called Vulcan. He has the pleasure of welcoming the mercenary to the village.
And you are?
The knight is called Ranford, last survivor of the Order of the Ember Knights, and now protector of Valvanor, this village. The new arrival is most welcome, but the steward is waiting in the old village inn. This is Valvanor. It is not a beautiful place, but for the time being, it seems to be unknown to the Deadwalker army. This village has known better days. Before the war, it was popular among the rich hunters who came to enjoy the ample game in the swamps. Today, the only visitors are refugees, who are sadly too numerous for the scant resources of the village. A small healing house provides comfort and succor to the injured. The knight is quite fond of Mirana, the healer who runs the place. Does the mercenary see the building opposite? It was once an inn, but it is now the residence of the steward, the man now in charge of the village.
This is a very large inn, considering the size of the village. There must have been many visitors before the war.
With any luck, we might get to sleep in a real bed tonight. I'm going.
Swamp is our best defense. Happily, the wildlife are just as keen on attacking the Deadwalkers as they are the villagers. But the situation here in Valvanor grows worse daily. And each new wave of refugees increases the risk of drawing unwanted attention to this jungle.
No Ice Lord scouts who find this village will ever escape to tell the tale. Of that, I can assure you. Also, my men are reinforcing your defenses. Forgive me for saying, but you have some serious weak points. Especially the defenses around that refugee camp of yours.
The arrival of the Freeborn Blades and the Red Scribes has greatly improved our chances of survival, Captain. Believe me when I say that we are most grateful to have you with us. Needless to say, your men and the Red Scribes are welcome and free to go where they will. But as for any other newcomers, our gates are closed. You must understand that our food stores are as limited as our abilities to defend our village. Until you arrived, we had but one person who was even vaguely capable of treating our injured. And the case of Prince Arundel was completely beyond her skills. And there is this beast story. Doubtless another fairy tale, the fruit of an alcohol-addled brain. Nonetheless, several of the Watch have gone missing. Something hidden in these swamps is causing these disappearances, but we cannot risk sacrificing any more of the few men remaining to us on sending patrols. Large groups entail moving chrysalids that are unmanageable. The others, quite simply, do not return.
Silence.
If I were to listen to everyone, I would need 10 times the number of men I have to verify the truth of every tale.
Enough. You must aid me to do this. I am not able to do that. Your endless wailings are unbearable.
In the name of Vulcan?
But by the gods, man, what is...
This world is condemned. The cold hath invaded its ground, its souls, and its heart. Yet here you stand, weaving your limbs like fish taken from the water, miserably shuffling about to conserve the illusion of warmth and life, and not feel the passing of your last breath, while I must endure your wailings and lamentations. Pitiful.
Vulcan, stop this nonsense immediately.
It is not he who speaks.
All the fall to ruin about you, yet you still bewail your loose bowels and vomitings. You cannot vanquish your dead walkers, no more than you can vanquish their necromancer masters. They draw their power from the very heart of the world. They drink it, they suckle it dry. Your only chance to cleanse what your own hath corrupted is to go to the World Heart and liberate it from its servitude.
The World Heart is a myth, a forgotten fairy tale, no more real than dragons or dwarves.
A myth. Continue hiding behind thy puny barricades, and thou wilt soon join thy myths and fairy tales.
Cease your pretense. I know you have returned to consciousness.
What the hell happened? I was just listening to the steward blabbing away with the captain, and then...
And then you lost control.
I don't know, it's like something in my head zapped me so it could use my mouth. But I was still there, still thinking what I was saying.
This is not the first time you have felt this presence manifest itself.
No. No, it's been there since the temple. It's also in my dreams. I think...
Interesting. It would seem that your body is host to some other entity. And it is clearly a spirit of fire.
No kidding. I got a demon in my head.
Something of the kind. In truth, I could not say what it is. Not yet, at least.
Don't make me laugh. After all, it's your disciples that let this thing out of its cage, right?
That has nothing to do with it. Do you have any idea of the implications of this incident?
If it happens again a couple of days from now, they'll all start spitting and throwing rocks at me. I guess I'll have to watch out.
I fear that is the least of your worries. Obviously, you haven't understood. The thing that is inside you, it wishes you ill. There is not enough space inside you for two souls. That demon wants your body. It will control you more and more until it has replaced you completely.
Ha! Thou thinkest I crave the body of a mortal? I am a prisoner here. My place is in the World Heart.
It will not hesitate to lie to you, to tell you that which you wish to hear, so that you will allow it to consume you.
I never asked for this cage. I never asked to be forced to hear thy every thought. It is I who have been invaded.
It speaks to you. Do not listen to it. Cast it from you. If you do not resist, it will crush your soul.
Hey, take it easy. One day at a time, okay? I'm gonna take a walk.
Disgusting.
They look like giant...
Yes, I know what you're thinking, mercenary.
These soldiers came up against a stronger force. A much stronger force.
This is horrible. We can't just leave that woman in this prison. We must find a way to free her from here.
Sybil, do not do that! I know this woman. She is not here by accident. She is a witch. If you free her, we all run the risk of falling under the power of her magic.
But Father, we can't just let this poor person die here. It would be inhuman.
Inhuman? That is exactly what she is, my child.
He's the wicked one. Aeolus, is it not? He's the one who imprisoned me, with no food or water, and barely clothed.
I what? You lying bitch! Don't listen to her.
Father?
She is trying to manipulate you. Use your brain, child.
I'm begging you, get me out of here. I can't hold on much longer.
So be it. I get paid for protecting you, not arguing with you. But you'll be explaining yourself to the captain.
Have you lost your mind? There is no question of leaving this poor woman to die here. This war cannot be won at the price of our humanity.
Stay away, you stupid girl. No! Fools! Leave her in that cage!
Now meet your eternity.
What are you doing to him? Let him go!
Very well. You may have him. I am finished.
Father? Father! Oh no, no! This can't be happening!
You're gonna wish you died back there in that cell, you sick bitch!
Wait, wait! If I am to die, I wish to know who stands before me.
I don't need to answer you. You're the one who better talk, or your last meal will be your own tongue.
Character. That's a change. Too bad it doesn't seem to be accompanied by a minimum of clear thinking. From what I can see, you're an imbecile, incapable of piercing the face that hides the true nature of the Red Scribes.
Well, I can pierce your face, if that's all you want. in several places.
Mock, if you like. Lamb that you are. You insist on believing that your employers are only scholars, curious and inoffensive. Can you not see more? Red scribes, ice lords, they come from the same mold, and they want the same thing. Some are simply more successful in their efforts. Aeolus thought I possessed knowledge which he could use to become the equal of the ice lords. That's why he questioned me.
So what? We're at war, and getting our asses kicked. We can't really blame him for trying to find a way to stop the Deadwalkers.
Of course. It was for the good of all that I was captured and sequestered here in secret. It was to protect freedom that I was starved, tortured, and humiliated for weeks on end. It was goodwill and kindness that made him enslave a monster to guard my prison. Oh yes, I heard them, all of the screams. That beast did not lack for meat. No, indeed. Yes, in truth, the scribe was such a brave man that it was only for the happiness of his darling daughter that he tried to stab her.
That's ridiculous! You are the monster! You're a liar! My father wasn't like that! A liar! You murderer! You'll pay for what you did!
Sybil, wait! Witch, I suggest you behave yourself if you don't want to find yourself back rotting in that cell of yours. I'm far from finished with you. I have questions. Lots of questions. And you had better make damn sure I like the answers.
So be it. Then I will tell you exactly what you want to hear, mercenary.
You had the upper hand. Why did you decide to kill the leader of the Red Scribes?
I desperately needed to replenish my power, so I drained his. My mood grows a bit murderous when I get too hungry, or when I spend too many days trapped in a filthy cell without so much as a toilet. Your friend was no hero. His aim was to reproduce the same ancient rituals that permitted powerful magicians to become the Ice Lords that we are fighting even now.
He wasn't my friend. He was my employer, and a very influential man. You could have spared him, giving credence to your version of events, but you chose to kill him, and thus any chance of them listening to you.
He was a deceitful and manipulative man. No one would have listened to me. So I permitted myself the pleasure of preventing him from harming anyone else.
The World Heart has had nothing but suffering from these magicians. I rejoice at this death. We need more like it.
Your pleasure won't last long. I have to bring you to Valvanor, where both of us are going to be in a lot of trouble. And since you took it upon yourself to kill their leader, I think you can expect that the Red Scribes are going to want you dead.
Do what you must do, mercenary. I'm your prisoner and will offer no resistance. Therefore, take me to your captain.
My captain? We have a contract with the Red Scribes. If you have decided you'd rather end it all, I can do it right here, right now, if you like. Cleanly. Otherwise, your best move is to tell your side of the story to the steward. If he'll even listen to you.
Ah, but there is the girl.
What girl? Sybil? You're dreaming. You killed her father right before her own eyes. She's never gonna take your side.
On the contrary, she will tell the truth. She will confirm all that happened here.
We'll see. But whatever happens, if I go down, Witch, I guarantee you'll go down even harder. Let's finish this discussion in Valvanor. Better get back before they send a battalion out to look for us. He'll be pissed. I gotta go face him.
Well, first go see your steward before the villagers decide to burn me at the stake. I mean, if you want to, Vulcan.
It'll probably turn into an interrogation pretty quickly. Try not to make it worse for yourself.
I'd rather stay here if you don't mind.
Why? You're not planning to give me the slip by any chance, are you?
I don't like the idea of getting locked up by the Red Scribes again. It might provoke me into a loss of my legendary restraint. And I'm sure that you don't want to have to scrape another one of your employers up off the ground.
Well, it's true that I prefer they remain in one piece. All right, fine, you can stay here. But if you do get it in your head to run away, I will find you. You won't like it when I do.
I'm trembling, but yes, I'll wait here.
Oh, did you find this famous beast?
Found it and killed it. But don't hold your breath waiting for its fur for next winter, because I didn't bring it back for you.
Excellent news. I knew the village could count on you.
Actually, not so excellent. Alis is dead.
Dead? But no, that's not possible. Are you sure?
When it doesn't move and it doesn't breathe and it looks at you with an even stupider gaze than one of your guards, that generally means it's dead, yeah.
I demand that you show some respect. The Red Scribes are a precious help to us here. Aeolus was a useful man, a good man, and he was under your care.
Oh, please. Your good man had a few skeletons in his closet. He was controlling the swamp bees to keep people away. He had you all fooled. Aeolus was even ready to kill his own daughter to cover up his secrets.
What nonsense is this? How can you make such ridiculous accusations? Am I to understand he died at your hands?
He turned up all alone at the place where I fought the beast. No guide, no escort. He knew the way. And after coming after Sybil, he tried to kill his captive to shut her up. There was a fight, and he didn't survive.
What madness. What do you know of this prisoner? If Aeolus held her captive, she must have been dangerous.
I don't know much. Edwin isn't exactly the talkative type.
Well then, you must find out immediately. As of now, she is your responsibility. I should deliver her to the Red Scribes without any further ado, yet, after what you have told me, I no longer know what to think. She will be given a fair hearing. Until that time, she never leaves your presence. If there is the least incident, I promise you, you shall answer for it. And there is no prison here, in case you had not noticed.
Okay. Sounds fair to me.
However low your opinion was of Aeolus, his death is a great loss for Valvanor. He was meant to be looking into a most disturbing matter.
All right, I can see where this is headed. What do you want?
There is no guarantee that you have the necessary skills to handle this matter, Freeborn Blade. Even Mirana is flummoxed.
What is it? An epidemic?
That's exactly what I'd like to know. Several of the villagers have been behaving curiously of late. They have become distant, taciturn, and barely react to the world around them.
They're just hungover. You'd know if you got drunk more often, and you look like you need to.
I believe there are a few here who would know the difference. It's something else. They seem very concentrated, as though they are observing us. I feared some kind of sickness, and that it will spread throughout the village.
Got it. I'll slap him around a little. That should wake him up.
My goodness. That's not exactly what I had in mind, but I must confess the results interest me more than the methods.
Well, that's gonna be my method, so let's leave it at that if you don't mind. I'm not helping you because you made puppy eyes at the captain.
Leave me, Vulcan. I don't want to talk right now.
No, I'm staying. We have to talk about what happened. Putting it off until later will change nothing.
You could at least respect my grieving.
You're whining because you just found out your dear daddy was a son of a bitch, right?
Don't say that. He was my father.
Right. Your father who tried to kill you.
I don't believe he would have done that. He must have had his reasons. Maybe he wanted to scare me.
His reasons? I wonder what kind of reason he had for holding a woman prisoner in the swamps and leaving her to starve. Even I find that disgusting.
She was dangerous. She killed him.
I'm not saying she did the right thing. But if it wasn't for her, you'd be dead. You gotta stop hiding from the truth. Your father hid a lot of stuff from us.
I swear to you, I don't know. I don't know why he had that woman prisoner, and I don't know what happened at the temple.
Yeah, okay. So you don't want to know what he was plotting, what he was hiding from us?
Of course I do. It's the only way I can hope to understand what he did.
That's good. So now we have to dry your tears and pull it together. Since you obviously didn't know what he was up to, you are the only Red Scribe that I can trust. If you want to avenge your father, or even understand him, you're gonna have to help me. But I warn you, I can't stand crybabies, got it?
Yes, I get it. Your bluntness is eloquent. But don't worry, I'll be there when you need me.
I need your help. Come with me.
If you want.
As I understand it, some people are behaving even more stupidly than they normally do?
That's right. They have asked me to check it out.
Perfect. I'll come along with you.
Hang on. What is your interest in all of this? Is there something you're not telling me? What are you trying to prove by coming with me?
How perceptive. How brilliant.
Yeah, great. Just tell me what you know or think you know about all of this.
All right, but keep it to yourself for the moment. We don't want to start a panic. At least, not until we're completely sure of ourselves. It seems to me that I recognize these symptoms, and if I am right, these people are possessed.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm not yet certain. We absolutely must inspect and investigate further in order to be sure. But I think the Deadwalker army is behind all of this.
All right, let's go.
Vulcan, for fuck's sake, what did you do to Aeolas?
I never laid a finger on her, Captain. But if you want my opinion, I think he screwed us over.
So you had to kill him? That was our fucking employer. Could you not take 2 goddamn seconds to think about that?
I didn't kill him. It was this woman, Edwin. She killed him.
That's what they told me. That doesn't change the fact that that dish rag of a scribe was our client. And your job was to protect him. If he was trying to fuck us over, it's up to me to deal with that. And for a starter, where did this wee tart that's spilling out of her dress come from?
She was his prisoner in the swamp. Looks like he was trying to get information out of her, which he obviously didn't give him, considering she's still alive.
All right, then. Maybe she can be of use to us. I already spoke with Aeolas's assistant. Seems he pulled the wool over their eyes as much as he did ours. They're petrified. So they've agreed to honor their contract with us. I need you to get this Edwin woman to talk. I want to know where she's from, who she is, who she works for. All of it. Watch out for the Red Scribes. They don't want to get fooled twice.
Understood, Captain. I'll check it out.
If you can find Hawk, tell him to get his arse back here. I sent him out on a recon mission and he still hasn't come back.
Do you think something happened to him?
Well, there aren't any decent whorehouses around here, so yes, something may well have happened to him.
I'll find him, sir. You wanted the Freeborn Blades to help the villagers. Is that still happening?
As long as we have to stay here, yes. Why?
Have you heard about these villagers who were acting strange?
Yes, I've had reports about them. The whole thing stinks, if you ask me. Take that one over there, for example. The one giving me the fisheye. If we weren't stuck in this place, I'd go over there and put his lights out. I've asked Buffalo to keep an eye on them. If they start getting squirrely, he'll give us a heads up.
I'm leaving. The captain tells me you're keeping an eye on the villagers that are acting weird.
Yes. Look at them. You see that couple? Take a good look at the husband. I've seen livelier zombies. It's like he was dead inside. And they aren't the only ones. There must be at least half a dozen of them. But what bothers me is that if you look closely, you can see they're checking everything out.
But what's wrong with them?
No idea. They look like they're turning into deadwalkers, but the odd thing is how they're spread out. You see how they're placed? They can check out most of the village from where they are. I'm almost certain they're scouting the place out for someone. Since you seem interested, you should go and talk to them. Look, I've marked out their positions on the map.
See you later. Good day. Are you related to this man?
You might say that. Miliev is my husband. I'm called Nigella.
Well, do you know what's wrong with him? Have you noticed anything strange about him lately?
Well, of course I noticed. He's the one who's a vegetable, not me. Still, I must admit, it's been nice and peaceful.
How long ago did he change?
About 3 days ago. He went out hunting in the swamps. But when he come back empty-handed, he had that far-away look in his eyes.
In what way peaceful? Is he normally an active guy?
Active? You must be joking. But it's the first time in years I don't have to listen to him whinging and complaining all day long. And I don't know which of the gods I have to thank, but he don't snore no more neither.
You mean he sleeps soundly?
Well, he sleeps less, if that's what you mean. I've even caught him sneaking out in the middle of the night, but he always comes back after a few hours.
Do you have any idea where he goes off to?
No, I've got no idea. Not down the tavern, and that's the main thing.
It doesn't bother you at all?
Let's be honest. Considering the sort of women what are still available in the village, and what a rubbish lover he is, I doubt he's got a mistress. And he's hardly gonna find any gorgeous sluts wandering around the swamps.
You might be surprised. Sorry to have bothered you. I'll go. Do you know this woman?
Of course I know her. Her name's Agatha, and she's my wife these past 8 years. Even if the old cow treats me like she doesn't know me.
What happened to her?
Ask her yourself. She don't talk to me no more. I know we had our ups and downs, but still.
How long has she been like this?
It come over her like a dose of the shits a couple of days ago. See, she goes off with Jervis and the others to go and collect berries in the swamp, and when they comes back, not one of them will talk to me.
Where exactly did they go?
What? How the fuck should I know? You'll pardon me, but gathering berries is women's work. But at any rate, they never go far, otherwise they never come back at all.
So she didn't go alone? Jervis is one of Mason's men, isn't he?
Yeah, that's him. There were 5 or 6 of them. Why don't you go and ask Jervis? He should be over by the barracks. He'll have a better chance of talk to you if you don't mention me.
Is there anything else strange about her, apart from the not talking?
Well, she ain't much between the thighs, if that's what you mean. She don't say or do nothing. Just sort of lets me get on with it. She don't even pretend to notice what we're doing.
Oh, by the gods! Do not say that you have profited from her weakness to... Ugh!
I was only trying to give her a nice moment to patch things up between us, sort of.
That's not really what I was asking about, to be honest.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. There might be something else. I woke up this night, and she weren't there. I must have dozed a half hour before I gone back to sleep, but she never come back. I never saw her again until sunrise.
And I imagine you have no idea where she could have gone?
None. And she wouldn't say nothing to me, like usual. I hope that bitch ain't off seeing another man. That's all I need.
I'll be leaving now.
Is it true you killed the beast?
Is it true you quit the booze?
What? Ah, that's a load of bollocks.
I thought so, but I did kill the beast.
Right. Okay, then. You and me, we got off on the wrong foot. We owe you one. That's a man's job you done.
A barfly like you probably knows a lot about the people here, I'm guessing, huh?
Flattery will get you everywhere.
You look like you can probably handle a sword. How come you didn't get recruited?
Oh, just unlucky, I suppose. Last time an Alliance recruiter come through, I was stuck in the crapper. Worst dose of the shits I ever had.
Forget I even asked.
So, I never got to the front. I can't tell you how much I regret that.
According to the steward, some of the villagers have been acting strange. I found out that they disappeared during the night.
And is that it? I imagine you'll have to follow them to find out what they do with their evenings and where they spend them.
Your man Jervis, he seems even more out of it than the rest of your troops.
Oh, him, yeah. Last couple of days, he's gone completely stupid. Shit. He's got it too. He's gonna go all gaga like those other weirdos.
The fact that he led all the other weirdos on an expedition didn't surprise you any? Where'd they go?
Well, now you mention it, yeah, obviously. It makes sense. They went off toward the southeast, if I remember right.
Worthless wine sop.
Right. I'll check it out. Do you have any suggestions?
We have to find out what the fuck they get up to at night. With a bit of luck, we'll understand what's going on in the southeast.
It'd be better if we start this evening. Wait till night falls.
Hey, you don't doze off. It's time to go out for a stroll. I have to stay here and guard this sector.
No surprises there.
That was a close one. This whole business stinks. If we can't tell the difference between one of these creatures and the villagers, we're totally fucked. It seemed like they were coming back from the southeast swamps. Maybe something down there is causing all this shit.
Whatever power be the origin of these possessions, it be ours.
I'll check it out.
Captain. There is none that thou knowest in this cavern, rest assured of that. The being that lives here wishes to take over this body.
Huh. You mean my body?
A pity that thou art not as combative with it. It is consuming thy mind e'en now, and yet thou dost offer no resistance. If thou dost allow it to continue, thou wilt be erased. Replaced, and that is not in my best interests either.
Now that's ironic. Isn't that what you're doing to me?
An insulting comparison. This parasite is nothing. It is insignificant. I can easily protect us, if thou dost allow it. Thou shouldst give me more space, more liberty. Open thy mind instead of keeping me prisoner.
Yeah, we'll see. You're asking me to let you come in and mark out your territory. But at what price?
Thou wilt gain access to a greater part of me, to my knowledge, to my power. All that thou risketh is to gain in knowledge and power, and that can do thee no harm. we shall only be stronger, both of us.
Well, let's see. Everything is rosy and without a care.
I imagined that thou wouldst undergo a slight physical transformation. Thy body was not conceived to contain a power such as mine. It will consume thee if thou refuseth to evolve.
There we go. Admit it. You feel better.
Whatever thou risketh in trusting me is insignificant in comparison with what awaits us if thou dost stay and do nothing. If thou dost refuse to evolve, we will both soon be lost, and this world will follow.
Let's get out of this hole and try to think of something else. Edwin or the Red Scribes will surely find another solution.
Thou doth flee. We have no confidence in these people, we both know this. Just as we both know thou wilt never pierce the secret of this cave without me.
Maybe not without you, but definitely not like this. Whether the scribes are worthy of trust or not is really not the question. Everybody feels like it's in their interest for us to succeed.
Each has a different view of what the meaning of success is.
I just want to get shit-faced and never have to hear your voice again.
It just spoke to you, isn't that right? How do you feel? Do you have a fever, nausea? Is your sight affected?
Calm down. My brain works just fine. He offered to protect me against the magic that haunts this cave, on the condition that I let him have more control of my mind.
You must not listen to it. At least not until you know more about what it could do to you. As far as this magic, the best thing to do is undoubtedly to speak to Leostas, and I will do some research myself as well. I am certain we can find another solution.
Greetings, mercenary. What can I do for you?
There's a cave I can't enter. Something inside tries to devour my spirit. You wouldn't have anything I could use for protection, would you?
Funny you're asking. Turns out I started working on a potion to help you fight the presence of the demon in your mind. But its effects should also help you against an external intrusion.
I need it right away. The safety of the village depends on it.
I made 2 doses. Here, take them. If someone is with you, it can be used to protect them too.
Thank you. This is the place. Now's the time to find out if this potion is gonna work.
Yuck! Ugh, I should have added some berries. The taste is truly disgusting.
So you're the one who's been spying on the village. Now that I see you, I understand why you'd rather not show up in person. Oh yeah, I don't hear your voice in my head anymore. You must have figured that out, right? So if you've got a message to deliver, you're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. Came down here to do 2 things. Look for mushrooms and kick somebody's ass. And guess what? I ain't found any mushrooms.
discovered, and soon will no longer exist. Today I fall, but dozens of new brothers and sisters will rise from the dead. The Dark Lords will raise me up again, and they will reward me.
Well, your Ice Lords have never messed with a Powder Master, now have they?
Fuck me, Vulcan, where were you? We were up to our necks in it. They're everywhere. We're holding this gate, but I think the others have been overrun.
Do you know where the captain is?
He headed for the center of the village. Sounded like it wasn't going well over there. You should go and help him.
The Prince is on the move again, and he's not wasting any time.
The puppet he confronts, it is not like the others.
It's more likely to be the Puppet Master. He looks like a Deadwalker general. He's probably leading the assault on Valvanor.
All of this power he animates with, it belongs to me. It was stolen and twisted by your miserable magicians. It is time to take back what is mine by right.
If you're planning to take care of him like all the others, sounds good to me. Prince Arundel won't last long facing that kind of monster.
He's using more power than thou wilt allow me to deploy.
I can take care of myself, and here's my plan. I'm gonna come at him with everything I've got. Killing their general is gonna screw up our enemies big time. Let's go do it.
I know not what thy father did to him, but he seems to want to take revenge personally.
That was one tough death's head, but it won't command anyone now. Without their general, the Deadwalkers should leave us alone for a while. But they'll reorganize, so we can't stay here.
You're right, mercenary. Let's use the time to leave. It's now or never if we're going to get to Karabthas. My father and the armies of the Free Nations should be there. If we hurry, we may be able to participate in the mother of all battles and finally push back the Ice Lords.
If thou dost throw thyself into this battle, the only thing that thou wouldst find is thy death, and the only chance thou hast for saving this world will disappear with thee. Their armies will not win. He knows this, but that is not what motivates him. He is seeking his father's approval. He wants to buy the crown by delivering us to his king. He believes we are at his command. But he is mistaken. I only serve and live for the World Heart. Thy elven city is closer. I can feel it. Forget these suicidal battles. If thou join with them, thy so-called friends will end up turning against thee out of fear or envy.
Ranvil is a man of honor. He will fight at my side whatever I do.
The knight without a cause. He wants only one thing, to die with dignity in a desperate battle. Dost thou really believe he would rather follow thee than join in a lost combat? Thou hast no more choice. Thou must hasten to the World Heart and purify it. It is thine only chance. Do combat there, and if thou art not slain, At least one of thy companions, if not all of them, will betray thee to try to control or study the power I bring thee.
Vulcan? Vulcan? You were far away. Is it the demon? He was talking to you, wasn't he?
Yes, it happens sometimes.
You have to make a decision soon. Will you join us in the battle at Caralthas?
I don't know yet.
I understand. It's been a long day. I'll let you think it over for a while. Let me know when you've made a decision.
What do you intend to do now? We can't stay here.
I have to talk things over with the other members of my order. But we planned on going to Caralthas. And I think that is still the best idea. Everything that is left of the human and elf armies is there. If we join forces, we should be strong enough to hold out against the Deadwalkers. The contract with your company only ends once there anyway, and I doubt your captain wants to break it. What's more, it might be an excellent opportunity to learn more about your guest. The Elven sages are famous, and their library holds many reference books. And I suggest, until we should learn more, that you neither listen to it nor obey it. I think it's lying to you, manipulating you, and that it has other goals than just our survival.
Arundel wants me to go with him to Caralthas. What do you think?
You should go with him. Caralthas is our only hope for now, and the prince seems like a good man. We would be safer there. Both the human and elven armies are gathered there, and I believe you may find some answers there also. The elven sages are some of the wisest people on Vertiel. If anyone can figure out what has happened to you, they can.
It's pretty obvious what happened to me. A demon has somehow gotten into my head, and now I gotta live with it.
And this does not worry you?
Yeah, it's starting to scare me.
I can imagine. These new powers come at a price, and I fear that you, Vulcan, your very self, may be the price that has to be paid. You must go to Caralthas so they can examine you. I believe you must find a way to control this thing, or even rid yourself of it before it's too late.
Do you think we should listen to Prince Arundel and go with him to Caralthas?
The great elven army and what is left of the human army in this part of Vertiel are now gathering at Caralthas. Separately, none of these troops stood a chance. But united... well, in any case, it's the only hope we have left. Reinforcements from the Freeborn Blades and Red Scribes will help. And so will you, from what I've seen. And even if I don't approve of all the strategic choices made by my sovereign these last few years, I think he'll rise to the occasion now that he can no longer retreat. He knows the lands around Caralthas perfectly, so I'm sure he will bring the battle onto terrain that will favor us. And since you're curious to know more about what happened to you, my people's scholars are famous. They can surely help you.
You've got it all figured out.
I believe we can manage to hold the Deadwalker army back this time. Though it's a bit early to start celebrating.
Do you think we ought to follow the prince to Caralthas?
If you want to get to the World Heart, we'll need to go by there. But the prince's company seems both unnecessary and dangerous. Believe me, I know his type all too well. Invested with a mission he is soon overwhelmed by, probably named by some obscure prophecy. In the name of his family, or because of an idealized vision of his future duties as sovereign, he will give his all. In other words, all his imbecility. Chasing after glory and honor unprepared and unprotected, he will only lead us to disaster.
Seeing the shit we're in, I don't think he's doing it just for the glory. He's got an interest in having everybody survive.
And in making it look like everyone has survived entirely due to his talents, and not those of a mercenary who can produce flames and defeat a general of the Deadwalkers. Do you really believe he wants you around just because he enjoys your company? Not to mention the increasing threat implied by our friends dressed all in red.
What do you suggest we do?
When we get to Caralthas, we better give them the slip and head to Blackfrost's domain.
Why should we go down there?
Because those lands are positioned quite close to the city of the elves, and like all the lands of the Ice Lords, it's a point of entry into the World Heart.
Prince Arundel is asking us to join up with his forces in Carolthas to fight the Dead Walker army. What do you think?
For years now, the Knight has fought in many battles and with many different armies. The generals, the kings, and the chiefs of those armies were usually ready to sacrifice the lives of their men with no remorse in order to win. If the mercenary goes to Carolthas, this prince will use him for his own purposes and sacrifice him if needs be. He cares for nothing beyond his own safety. And if he is faced with the Ice Lords, he would turn and flee, as did his brothers before him. The Knight is weary of these doubts and petty thoughts. He wishes to return to the attack and strike the Ice Lords at their very hearts. If he was in the mercenaries' place, he would listen to the demon and follow its plan. And he would like to know that he would not stand alone in this final battle.
We'll be able to break camp soon. Where's our next objective?
For now, we're going to stick with the Red Scribes. They haven't paid us yet, and they won't until we reach Carolthas. In any case, that's where we're headed. I sent Wolf on ahead of us a few weeks ago to see if he could find fresh volunteers for us, but I don't think there's much hope of that. This war is looking worse and worse for us. In 10 years fighting, the Dead Walkers haven't lost a single battle. I suppose we could hide for a while. But considering what's left of Bertiel, that would be like hiding in a pile of ashes. We have to come up with some alternatives. And for now, I can only think of one. The demon. For the moment, it's the only card we have left to play.
Thy captain is less stubborn than thee. Methinks I should perhaps have chosen him as a vessel.
That's not a good idea, Captain. As long as we still don't know what he is, and more importantly, what he wants, I wouldn't trust him.
Well, up until now, he's been useful. I think if he'd wanted to harm us, he would have already done it, huh? But it's you that has to live with him, so I guess it's up to you.
There you are, at last. So, have you made your decision?
I will fight with you at Carolthas. Your army may be our only chance of victory.
Idiot! Thou hast sentenced thyself to death. And now?
Now we will go with the others to Carolthas, to swell our ranks, combine our forces, and face the Dead Walker army on equal terms.
Equal terms? Because thou hast slain a vassal far from his master, do not presume too much upon this body. Now draw close to the domain of one of these necromancers. Faced with his power, 1,000 soldiers more or less will make no difference. The power to slay this vermin lies within us. But it cannot be used from such a weak vessel, nor can it even be protected from those who covet it.
I am more and more powerful.
Yes, yet still not powerful enough. And this city is of no interest. The necromancer will lay waste to it with a wave of his hand. While he tarries, thou must make haste to reach his palace.
You said that I lack the power. I will not throw myself into the wolf's jaws.
When thou returnest to the World Heart, none will stand before us. Thou wouldst already possess the power to destroy this sorcerer and his like, if thou hadst but allowed the evolution of this useless body. Look upon thyself. Thou art duped.
Vulcan, have you seen something?
They use thee.
Are you coming, Vulcan? Your captain will be wondering where we are.
Huh? Yes, of course. Let's go.
There you are, sire. Right. Change of plan. Seeing how cold it is, it will come as no surprise to you to learn that the dead walkers have already been here. They're still close.
We must rejoin my father's army as swiftly as we may.
I think we already found them. Take a look around us.
There are survivors. Apparently they are camped not far from here. This soldier will lead us to them.
Prince Arundel, my lord, can it be you?
Soldier, what happened here? Is the king with you?
The dead walkers took us by surprise. The cold and the ice. We stood no chance. Almost all of the city has been invaded by the ice.
My father, where is the king?
I know not, your highness. But a few of us were able to escape. Lord Commander Valen has built a camp close by the city.
Valen is here. Take us to his camp.
By your leave. Follow me, my lord.
My prince, we had lost all hope of seeing you return safe. We have no word from Bastion.
Bastion is lost, Valen. We came into this war too late. The General of the Alliance gave his life that I should escape with Relmar.
The deserter. What business did he have at Bastion?
The deserter was fighting, while you and your wondrous army waited, warm and safe, sat upon their asses. I hope the result is pleasing to you, Valen.
Silence, both of you. Relmar saved my life, Valen. For now, you will consider him pardoned.
By your will, my lord. And I see that you are escorted by the Freeborn Blades.
In truth, they are escorting the Red Scribes, but their presence is our good fortune. They have already once put the dead walkers to rout in the marshes. This man slew one of their generals before my very eyes. I will tell you more of this later. Now I must speak with my father. Where is he?
No one knows, my prince. The king was still in the royal palace when the river Estelduin fell upon the city.
The river? What happened?
'Twas like a great wave that froze all that it touched. We had seen the approach of the Deadwalkers' vanguard 4 days before, and we had raised Kariltas's defenses in preparation. Not even the sight of 10 juggernauts would have feared us. But we never dreamt that an Ice Lord would come to lead the assault himself. He walked calmly to within an arrow's flight of the gates, never once speaking. And then, the river rose up from its bed to form a gigantic cloud that hung up over Kariltas. We understood our peril too late. Near all of our soldiers stood atop the ramparts or in the streets when the ice cloud fell. All were frozen where they stood. That was his signal to launch their assault, but we were already vanquished. We fought to cover our retreat.
We must find the king!
I know, my prince, but every entry to the city is guarded, and we cannot risk being discovered.
It is clear we will not travel 200 paces if we do not first slay the sentinels close to the encampment. Only then will we be able to attempt to enter the city and save your father.
I'll go find your king for you.
Vulcan, did you hear me ask for volunteers? Our mission is over. The Red Scribes have screwed up from start to end, but they're in the hands of the Elven army now.
Captain, since we're here, we may as well make ourselves useful, right? And we have to get inside those walls if we want to know what happened to Wolf and the other blades we left here.
Ah, Vulcan. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into.
That is why I shall go with him. I grew up in this city. We shall help one another.
My prince, you know well it is my duty to object to you taking such a risk.
And you also know that your objections will change nothing. No man here knows the palace better than I. If my father is within, I will find him.
By your word, sire. But I fear most what other things you may find. I can but put my trust in your newfound champion to watch over your highness.
Don't forget, you'll have to deal with those sentinels before you try anything else, Vulcan. Meanwhile, the lads will set up camp near the south gate.
Understood, Captain. Damn, it's freezing here. Aren't you cold?
I've spent many winters in libraries with no heating. After that, you hardly notice the cold. Which reminds me, do you know if the library in the city is still intact?
No idea. You looking for any book in particular?
Not a book, many books. The elves have the most advanced culture in the world. Their libraries contain works of inestimable value. We should find them. They could be useful to us.
I have other things I gotta do first. I have to accompany the prince, remember? But I will try to go with you so you can find your books later. Promise.
We'll be watching this sector. Thank you for your help, mercenary.
Thanks for the help, mercenary. We're going to keep watching this sector.
Now I've seen everything. The Deadwalkers kicking each other's asses.
I beg your pardon?
What? This one talks. What the hell are you, a lich? A zombie scribe?
We've only known one another a few seconds, and already you insult me. Charming, I must say.
If you aren't one of them, then what are you?
I am an immortal superior spirit. And you?
So you're an Ice Lord. I thought you'd be taller or something.
I have absolutely no involvement with that bunch of cheapskate conjurers, and I would never humiliate myself by working for them, since that's what you seem to be suggesting.
Yeah? Rotting flesh, sticking out bones? You sure as hell look like a damn Deadwalker to me.
Tut tut. Did no one ever tell you not to judge a book by its cover? It's true that you're young, but use your wits. Would I be fighting my own troops if what you suggest were the truth?
All I can be sure of is that you're not really alive, and that makes you my enemy. And what's more, you're in my way.
Body will not survive more punishment. In all my 6,000 years, I have never witnessed such power. You seem to be as unique a being as I am. What is the source of your power? What are you?
There's a demon inside me. A creature of flame that claims to come from the World Heart.
How fascinating. Even if the term demon seems to lack precision. Nonetheless, I must confess that in spite of my vast knowledge, I have no idea what this entity really is. At last, something interesting. I was almost dying of boredom. I suspect that exploring what's inside you will probably be quite exciting. No, don't speak. I'm coming with you. I can't wait to find out more about your case.
I can't have you tagging along with me right now. I have something to do in the city. Wait for me back at the camp. We'll talk about what we think you and I are later on.
Yes, I've seen where your camp is. Actually, it's quite surprising the Deadwalkers haven't noticed it yet. However, I suspect my unannounced arrival might pose a slight problem for your brothers in arms.
Yeah, I guess with your face, they might not welcome you with open arms. Just tell them I sent you, and try to behave.
Very well. Do you know your way into the city? There's a hidden entrance not far from here. I'll show you where it is on your map.
Thanks. This city is an open grave.
What have they done to my city? A curse upon them all!
We'll be lucky if we find any survivors.
What is this thing?
I don't know, but it doesn't look right.
Son? My boy? Can it be you?
Oh, fuck. By all the gods. Father? It cannot be!
Do not look upon me. I am so sorry. Do not stay here. Take the crown and leave this place.
Oh, Father. But what have they done to you?
I surrendered. Lord Blackfrost told me that he was slain. That Marshal Winter's army had left no survivors at Bastion. I had not the strength to even raise my sword. And so he changed us, remade us, the other nobles and I, and all those who had taken refuge in the palace. He wanted me to witness our end, so that I would live without defeat and news of your death for eternity. But you are alive. You live. Your mother and I are so relieved to know you live.
Mother? But how can I release you from this curse?
My son, if you only knew how sorry we are. You cannot save us. We are condemned to this abomination. You must slay us. The others, the Queen, the Count, all of these people. I feel their suffering. Hear their screams within me. Put an end to it, I beg you. Free us that our souls may be with you.
Sire, I can take care of this, if you want me to.
For pity, my boy. Whatever you decide. Take the crown.
He could see that you were alive, and you put an end to his suffering. In every way, I think you did what was best.
I know. And I shall have the crown, and all that it represents. But I shall never wear it with dignity until I have reconquered my kingdom and slain this Ice Lord.
We have to get back to the camp before the Deadwalkers come for us. The death of one of the Liches is bound to have gotten their attention.
I will come soon. I must first perform a ritual to free my father's soul from this unholy carcass so that it may stay with me.
I'll wait outside. To wait for Arundel, not in his condition. The Deadwalkers will be scouring the city to find who killed their Lich. We gotta get back to the camp fast.
We waste our time here. The fate of these people is sealed. The sole act that can defeat the necromancers is to take back the stolen energy of the world heart.
I decide what has to be done, with or without your agreement.
Mercenary, it is well that you are returned. A creature that seemed like a dead thing came. It claimed you had sent it.
Yeah, he's a potential ally. Don't worry about it.
I fear I attacked him, and arrested him. He tried to talk to me, but I felt safer with it under guard, considering his face.
Where is he now?
He is with the Red Scribes.
Perfect.
They attacked the wrong person. How dare they condemn our king to such a macabre fate?
My father,
It's time for us to repay the Deadwalkers in kind. I want to see them destroyed, so not a single one of those dead ever dare set foot in our streets again. We're going to launch a massive assault to take back our city. It is time to turn the tide of this war. Vulcan, we will need you and your extraordinary abilities. We have to send a small group to open the city gates. I'm counting on you. I know that you can be stealthy and incredibly effective. A few soldiers will be going with you. This is our best chance. Black Frost doesn't seem to be here anymore, and most of his forces went with him. But before we launch the assault, we need to strengthen our army. I've been told there are prisoners in the city. If we free those soldiers, we can add them to our ranks. We're also going to need to get our equipment in as good shape as possible. We're fortunate that our smith has survived. Let us hope he'll be able to provide us with everything we need. But it's better to make sure.
Thou knowest that Black Frost's palace will take us to the world heart. Yet still thou dost waste thy time in vain battles. Thy stupidity knows no bounds.
Vulcan, I need your help.
What, sorting books? Observing swamp critters? You don't think I have better stuff to do right now?
That's not fair. I'm not stupid. I understand that what is most important now is the fight, and our soldiers...
The Freeborn Blades will do just fine. Don't you worry about that.
Not them, the other human soldiers.
What's wrong?
I'm not sure we can count on them. They've already lost the war. They're only staying here because the elves are protecting them, and they've got no fight left in them. They have to believe they can win. They have to fight alongside the elves and the Freeborn Blades. I've tried talking with them, but they treat me like a child. Maybe they would listen if you would talk to them.
Me? Most regular soldiers don't have time for mercenaries.
They just need to get their spirit back, boost their morale. I'm sure you could find some words to help them.
Vulcan, come here. I need to talk to you about something. While you were in the city, the Deadwalkers apparently began stirring. Several scouts have disappeared without a trace. They can't just have been ambushed by chance. Someone must have given their routes to our enemies. I'm afraid we have a traitor among us. Though if that's the case, I don't understand why we haven't been attacked by the Deadwalkers yet. What's really troubling is that these disappearances pretty much correspond to your arrival here, which means that your living dead friend is the prime suspect. Even if it's just as possible that it's one of the Red Scribes, or even one of your people.
And why can't it be one of your people?
Why would he do that? And above all, why would he wait until now to betray us?
Maybe he reacted to the prince's return. He may have expected you to lay down your weapons, and when he saw you were gaining hope again, he decided to speed things up.
Maybe. Regardless, we have to find the spy and silence him. You have demonstrated your effectiveness and discretion. Can you take care of this?
Of course. I'll look into it.
Vulcan, I have to talk to you about Edwin. I saw you getting friendly with her. You should be more careful. She is not what she pretends to be.
I know she's not playing straight with us. She's got her little secrets, just like everyone else.
You don't understand. It's a lot more serious than little secrets. I found some very worrying information in one of the last books I read. 200 or 300 years ago, there were other groups of sages and magicians, like the Red Scribes. One of these orders was called the White Lords.
So you think that they were the ancestors of the Ice Lords or something? What does that have to do with Edwin?
I'm getting to that. The White Lords lived in the north of Vertiel, out in the ice. We know little about them. For a long time it was believed they had disappeared. But in reality, they somehow transformed themselves. And in one of the books that I consulted, I found an engraving of a woman, one of their leaders. It was the portrait of that witch.
It is suspicious. We'll have to check it out.
Since you seem so close to her, try to find out more about her past. How old is she? Where was she born? I don't know. Just something, anything that might give her away.
I will have to be careful so she doesn't get wise to me.
Keep me informed, but believe me, I'm almost sure it is her.
I need your help. Come with me.
If you want.
And even more bullshit. Don't wear yourself out, honey. We're not gonna fight for these lazy elves.
You have to listen to me, please. I know you're angry with the elves for not entering the war earlier. But today, with their help, we finally have a chance to win.
With what's left of their army? You gotta be kidding, sweetheart. They got taken out once. The second time's a done deal.
Black Frost is no longer here to support his army. And the elves are no longer on their own. We, the scribes, and the mercenaries too, will be with them. And here's Vulcan. He'll be helping too. And as you can see, he is no ordinary mercenary. I beg you, please. If we join all of our forces together, we can win.
I gotta give it to you, Sugar. You sure know how to use that mouth of yours. But you don't know nothing about war. All I see here is the remains of an army that I got no reason to fight for.
What better way to prove my worth than a duel? That's how we settle differences of opinion in my company all the time. All right?
I got a guy who should make you happy. If you beat him, I might change my mind. With what you got under your belt, who knows? We're with you, Vulcan. You can count on us for the assault.
An undead? In our camp? Aren't you afraid it'll communicate with its masters? Sir?
It's a calculated risk. Your friend Edwin told me that she can interrogate those creatures, so we captured one.
You really can do some pretty weird things.
Listen, Vulcan. We're not going to turn down any information. If we can find out how to haul our asses out of the fire, I don't see how it can hurt. Ready to make it talk?
If our fire breather doesn't need me right away, I can start getting ready.
I was just passing by. You don't need me to make it talk, right? I'll let you take care of that. Edwin, I need to speak to you.
What can I do for you?
Did you manage to get anything useful out of this cold piece of meat?
You must learn to be patient. This kind of thing requires a little preparation. We don't dive into the memories of a dead man the way we torture a peasant. But perhaps you'd like to participate.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I am curious to see how you go about it. Right. When is this interrogation going to start?
Relax, Vulcan. We're going to start, but slowly. Listen, maggot head. You're going to tell us everything you know.
That's not quite how it works, Captain. It can't just answer questions like that. Tell me what you want to know, and I'll dig around in its memory to find the answers.
In that case, why not dig everything out, so we don't miss anything?
Even for someone as skilled as me, that could take weeks. Its brain, however limited, is like an immense archive that contains both recent memories and memories of its past life.
All right. I want to know if that bastard Black Frost really has left the area.
Let me concentrate. Yes. I see him raising the wave and turning the whole city into ice. This soldier must have been at his feet. Then he gave the order to attack and gave orders to several powerful undead. Apparently he left right after. He appears nowhere else in its memory.
What were the Black Frost's orders?
You have to understand that this creature's ability to comprehend is limited. From what I can see, it was told to keep watch over the city. He asked to be sent living people. Prisoners. The other living people must still be alive and under guard. Other prisoners. And of course, that he be informed in the event of trouble.
Does he know we entered the city?
This dead thing doesn't anyway. But that doesn't mean a thing, unfortunately.
What are those powerful dead you were talking about?
I see a flying creature, like the one in the swamp, and others. The image is blurred.
So the army is being commanded by a tormentor now?
No, I don't think so. They make good spies, but poor leaders. That said, I don't see any real generals.
Nothing that looks like that one that attacked the village.
No, but Black Frost will definitely have left someone in charge. Someone he trusts. This soldier just didn't see who. I think that he... Oh no! He saw me!
Huh? Who are you talking about?
Well, well. Probing the spirits of the dead. You can well imagine that this sort of communication goes both ways. So, that's where my dear rebels are hiding, isn't it?
I must break the link! Right now!
Now that would be priceless. If that long-faced twat accuses us of being traitors.
Who do you think it could be?
I confess that at first I thought it was your pal who looks like you just dug him up.
Mathras? Honestly, I don't think so.
I agree. I realized that since he's permanently surrounded by the scribes, he'd have a hard job finding the time to betray us.
Do you think it's one of the scribes?
It's possible. After all, it wouldn't be the first time they've shagged us while we had our backs turned. But whoever the mole is, has to know their way around, and not be scared to go outside on their own. Can you see any of those snot-nosed weeds taking that kind of risk? The most likely, whatever Commander Pointy Ears thinks, is that one of his boys is a turncoat. Go and check with Buffalo. I saw him chasing one a while back.
Considering the size of him, I doubt he caught the guy. I'll go ask him. You know, I wanted to ask... What about the interrogation? How's it going?
Your half-dressed witch says she needs time to get ready. Obviously, interrogating a corpse is a bit like going to a dance.
I have to go.
Can I help you with something, mercenary?
Have you seen anyone leave the camp?
Apart from you, nobody.
Are you sure? It's important.
Certain. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to get back to guard duty.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for all the help. Buffalo, I have to talk to you.
What do you want?
You were seen leaving the camp. What were you doing?
What business is that of yours? Are you spying on me?
I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm supposed to be searching for a spy, and I need some clues.
I was just out on a little recon. I don't see how that can help you.
They told me that you were looking for someone.
Yes, the soldier who was on watch just over there. He left his post, was trying to follow him, but he lost me. He knows the terrain better than I do. I followed his tracks for a while, but considering the number of deadwalkers in the area, I decided to come back. I didn't want to give away our position.
Where did the tracks lead to?
Over toward the river, but don't bother. The guard already came back. He's just over there. You could go and ask him yourself.
I guess that's what I'll do. Thanks for the tip.
Can I help you with something, mercenary?
I was told you left your post.
That's... No! Never! Who told you such a thing?
You think I'd tell you? Come on, tell me everything or you'll really be in the shit.
All right. I left, but only once. I was following your comrade, Buffalo. He went to the main gates of the city. I figured that was pretty suspicious. But I didn't dare go very far. I couldn't leave my post unguarded, you understand? And then the Deadwalkers didn't seem about to attack him. In the end, He went back without a scratch and without saying a thing.
Your stories are starting to piss me off. Time to die, traitor.
Anyway, we're all going to die, today or tomorrow. What difference does it make? But I'm going to come back to life. My master promised me.
Yeah, and you'll be one more dead grunt in his army. Stupid idiot.
Me anymore.
Head to the southeast. You'll find an entry in the support pillar. Take that passage, and then look for an opening in the cliff face. The rest of the company is hidden there.
Got it. There's another camp of prisoners over there in the west. Not any of our guys, but maybe we should try to free them anyhow. Do you want us to give you a hand?
No. Get out of here.
See you back at the camp. Good luck.
Gonna need it. Go to the support pillar in the southeast of the city. You'll come out near the cliff. Follow it and you'll come to a rift. Go in. The elf army is there and they'll take care of you.
Thank you. See you back at the camp.
That's right. I'm sure that's a blacksmith. It could interest him.
I heard you managed to get back my equipment from the forge. I can't believe it. Do you have the hammer?
Yes, I have your hammer. Here. You can put it to better use than me.
Thank you. Finally, I can do something useful. All this battered and bent equipment is going to be superb again. At least our soldiers will die with dignity.
You got a weird way of looking at things. Anyway, I've got some supplies I could sell you if you need anything.
Excellent. Don't take this badly, but I have to get to work right away.
Excellent. See you later.
Get your shit packed. We're getting out of here as soon as possible. Our contract is over.
But Captain, after all we've done here...
Listen to me. We have no chance against the Deadwalker army, no matter what powers you have. And I'm not sending my company into a massacre. I didn't lead the company here to save this city. The only reason we came was to get our lads back. There was never any question of anything else.
God damn it, Captain. This is an important battle. You have to include the blades in it.
Now you listen closely, Vulcan. I am the captain of this company. It's me who decides. You don't like it? Not my fucking problem. So either shut it, or become captain yourself. But you know what that means.
It means that I must face you in single combat. You don't leave me any choice. We have to put everything we've got into this battle.
You asked for it. I'll make it quick and painless.
I always knew it would be you.
You didn't leave me any choice.
This was well done.
Let us go and seek out Prince Arundel. We must make haste to plan our attack. We have to reach an agreement on the assault we're going to launch.
Very well. Our strategy will essentially depend on you and your companions. I'll be attaching a group of soldiers to your party for support.
That's out of the question. The more of us there are, the greater the risk that we'll be noticed. I'm taking Edwin. Her knowledge and powers make her the best suited to go with me.
I would very much like you to have someone I trust with you. And this Edwin does not seem like that person.
Huh. She'll be delighted to hear that.
I could go with you. You know that I'm stealthy and can make myself useful.
That's a pretty good compromise. With the three of us, we stand a chance. What do you say, Your Highness?
I agree. I'm counting on you, Relmar, to remember the interests of your people. The result of this battle depends on your success. You need to sneak into the city, get to the drawbridge, and lower it. Then you can open the gate for us. I will personally be leading our army, and I'll enter the city as soon as you've opened the gate. I think that the element of surprise and our advantage in numbers should be enough to overcome the Deadwalkers. And your help in this battle will be of inestimable value.
Excellent. If all goes according to plan, I'll be able to go to Blackfrost's realm after that. You can't have too many elite troops and freeborn blades on this expedition.
Are you ready for the assault? There must be neither distraction nor setback. We won't have a second chance. If you have business to deal with, you should deal with it now.
I'm ready.
There. We have to head for that drawbridge.
We're not alone. What the hell is that thing with all those legs?
It is a concubine. Lord Blackfrost has always had somewhat unusual erotic tastes. Why would she be here, unless she already knows of our plan?
Curse them! Look at the support pillars. They crawl with Deadwalkers.
A trap, and a good one. Your little friends will be taken from the rear, if you'll pardon the expression.
We must prevent it. We have to hurry to open the drawbridge.
I say we must not. This concubine has given us an opportunity. We must attack her while her troops are busy elsewhere. These are creatures of great power. You must absorb them one by one if you hope to stand against Lord Blackfrost. Those other men are already as good as lost.
Do not heed the words of this witch! If you do not open the bridge, all our soldiers will die, and this war will be over. I do not believe you even have need of this misshapen beast's supposed power. This evil whore is twisting your mind. She wishes to weaken us. From the beginning, she has been hiding something from us, and it will go ill for you if you trust her.
Really? I would have hoped for a little more affection from someone who spies on me when I bathe.
Relmar is right. If we do nothing, those elves are dead.
So be it. Go then. Help your lost army, but remember that you have condemned us all. At best, you will gain a little time, but you will never have a better chance than the one that you are now throwing away.
Are you well?
Better than ever.
Then let us make haste. We must open these gates.
At last, I meet the hard heads who resist the Lords of the Frozen Shadow. Oh, Winters is furious with you, you know. He's most fond of his juggernauts. And I suspect you may also be responsible for the death of his general. But you are mine. None but me dare lay hands upon my concubines, not even the other Ice Lords. This is a lesson you will learn from pain. An eternity of pain. have to admit, you really are full of surprises. These powers of yours are interesting. Nonetheless, you just aren't in the same class as a Lord of the Frozen Shadows. It wouldn't be sporting of me to eliminate you so early in the day, but you do have potential. I will leave you a little time to build your strength. When you think you're ready to face me, come to my domain. We will finish this once and for all.
Well, I think we should count ourselves fortunate that he seems to like you. Though I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Huh. Where did Edwin go?
I know not, but I for one shall not miss her. It would not surprise me if she had betrayed us and returned to the enemy.
That wouldn't make any sense.
Perhaps it would to her. Let us go and help my brothers. We will have need of all our allies if we are to conquer this Ice Lord.
Let's go.
Thou wilt fail. Thy weakness condemns us both.
My weakness drove off a necromancer.
For he would have thy power as all, and he needeth thee the time to grow it for him, that he may return to claim it.
Becoming stronger bothers me not in the least. Black Frost made a serious mistake, and his trap will be the end of him.
There are 6 ritual spears planted in my flesh. Black Frost is but one of them. How much longer must I endure this charade? Hasten thee to rejoin with me.
I will return to the world card when I'm ready. This necromancer is an obstacle that cannot be ignored.
No, I have had enough of this prison, of this sacrilege, of this servitude. How dare thee leave me thus? Thou art no better than they.
Wake up, Vulcan. This is not the moment.
All this energy, everywhere, we draw near our goal.
Look out!
It's another one of those bitches.
Black Frost doesn't seem to appreciate our company.
This place stinks of death.
This place looks like an ancient elven sewer.
Vulcan, I knew that you would find us.
Did you get separated? Where are the others?
Well, the attack of this concubine took us by surprise. The group was broken up, and unfortunately not everyone managed to escape. We set up camp and did some reconnaissance.
What did you find out?
Not very much for the moment. This area is particularly hostile. There is a powerful, corrupting magic everywhere. It seems to strengthen the undead and weaken us. Nevertheless, Mathras seems to thrive in this strange atmosphere. He has been serving as our scout.
I've been sensing something unhealthy in the air. This field of corruption might cause us to slow down.
I can feel it too. It's not the nicest feeling I've ever had, but I don't think it's gonna slow us down much.
Speak for yourself. My head feels like an anvil, and that's without my even listening to Randval say anything. If I have to continually fight against this evil magic, there's a good chance that I will start to slow you down.
I understand. Let's go and find Mathras. He might have found out something useful. You're still alive.
Are you trying to be funny? Of course I am. Though I did nearly have to change bodies. So here we are, a little closer to our goal. Of course, the next thing we must do is to find a way to dispose of Blackfart's wives.
Blackfart's wives?
Are you shocked? Blackfrost's polygamy is probably a reflection of his megalomania, even though it was quite common in the past. The most powerful of them is called the Guardian. She is protecting the palace entry, and I fear she is invulnerable as long as her 3 sisters live. You must first face the Creator, the Stalker, and then the Watcher, if you are to have any chance of defeating her.
I've already beaten one of them. I can kill the others.
I don't doubt it, but this place is bathed in a kind of corruption that lends strength to these creatures.
Is there a way of getting rid of it?
Probably. There are still a few red scribes around. Stupid though they are, they may have some idea how to proceed. Did you know that before it became Blackfart's Folly, this place was originally a palace built by the elves, devoted entirely to theater and song?
I don't think that's gonna help me much.
Alas, what a dull world it has become. You know, the acoustics in there are quite wonderful. You should give it a listen while you're killing the concubines.
What do you know about these creatures?
Well, I don't know them as intimately as I'd like, but I believe they are women who were chosen for their diverse talents. And our fine Ice Lord decided to transform them. He calls them his concubines, and they serve him faithfully in every way. The dream of many men, I presume.
You down there, we're here. Come and help us. We can't hold on for too long.
I'm happy to see that you are still alive. I wish I could say the same for your companions.
Sybil? Randval?
Neither they nor your mercenary comrades show any sign of life, which leads me to think, what horrible carnage.
I'll have to go look around the place in case one of them is still alive.
Even if there's only a slim chance, you shouldn't hesitate. Unfortunately, we've got something else on our minds. Mathras doubtless spoke to you about the strange corruption in this place. Corruption that makes the undead much more powerful, sometimes even unbeatable.
Do you know of a way to beat it back or wipe it out?
I believe I have an idea, yes. The corruption does not extend to all places in the same way. Some areas seem to be exempt. And I believe the undead I saw there were less comfortable. These are exactly the same places as where the crystals with magical capabilities can be found. If you can gather some, we will be able to make you a talisman that will let you drive back the corruption around you, and so fight the undead as you usually would.
And repulse the Deadwalkers?
I doubt that the lone talisman is powerful enough for that. Added to which, you have to stay completely still. But the idea...
When he looks like that, it means he's trying to think. Funny, isn't it? Here, I'll show you the zones where you can find the crystals on your map.
Excuse me, I was lost in thought. Here, take this to gather the crystals, and bring us back as many as possible.
That's a pretty good idea. If we place the crystals around the camp, we should be able to keep the undead away from here. Of course, we'll need more than it takes to make a single talisman.
All right, I'll bring it back for you. I'll be going now. That's one down. It's true. This really does stink.
You will go no further.
Edwin. Or should I say, White Lady. It's nice of you to come and see me. You left in such a rush.
Laugh while you can, you idiot. Your stupidity has condemned this world.
That's funny, coming from a fallen ice lady.
You had a chance to take Black Frost by surprise. A unique opportunity to thwart him. And you let it slip through your fingers.
What? Do you think I'm here to enjoy the scenery?
You are here because he wishes it so. He's waiting for you. You have given him time to prepare for you, to think of a way to get his hands on the power you hold. And there can be no question of letting him do as he wishes. For over a year I have labored alone to liberate the world heart. The power belongs to me and no one else.
Don't worry. I'm gonna give you more than you can take.
Short, but sweet.
I found your crystals.
Good. Very good. But I'm afraid that it's too late. Look around you. There's only a handful of us left. As soon as Black Frost turns his attention to the camp, we are finished. What's the point of wearing myself out to make this talisman for you? We may as well just surrender. You were able to resist the demon while keeping some of its powers. But we are in a dead end.
Do you think we're finished? Very well. Just sit down there and wait till they kill you, if that's what you want. It won't be long. I'm going to keep going, and I don't need you. I'll just find somebody else to help me. Mathras, for example. And in the end, I'll take on Black Frost, with or without you. Don't count on me to give up or wait for death while twiddling my thumbs.
We have lost so many of our people. If I do nothing, they will all have died in vain. You're right. I'll make the talisman for you. But you should speak to Mathras. He seems to know things we don't about the creatures blocking the road.
I'll be going now. Okay, the news is not great. According to what I've been able to find out with Mathras, the Palace of Black Frost is guarded by another one of his concubines, and it looks like she's too powerful for me to take.
Well, there was never much doubt about that, my boy, if you'll pardon my honesty. All is not lost, however. As I told you before, if you manage to eliminate the 3 other concubines, the power of the Guardian will be considerably reduced.
And while our own power is increased.
That's the plan. If somebody wants to come with me, we'll go together and track down these misunderstood love monsters. I'll be counting on the others to guard the camp. It's about to get pretty hot around here fast, even more so if I mess this up.
I'll go. I'm the best hunter you will find. And I have a score to settle with those harlots.
You make a good argument, but try to keep your head on your shoulders, would you?
Hey, it's me, remember?
My goodness, going on a concubine hunt sounds an awful lot of fun. I will assist you by diverting the attention of the one they call the Stalker. I'll arrange it so that she stays on the side of the ancient bridge near the doors to the city. Meanwhile, you can deal with her two sisters without fear of interruption. I would, however, advise you not to waste too much time. I'm not convinced my conversation will hold these illiterates' attention indefinitely.
Here, this object should prove useful to you. I don't know whether it will function perfectly, or even less for how long, but I sort of had to improvise.
Well, thanks, I guess. What does it do?
If it works, the same thing as the pillars, except that you can carry this with you. It minimizes the corrupting magic around you. The concubines and the undead that you will meet will find themselves weakened.
Sounds great. Thanks, Liestas. It's time for me to go do it. Good luck to you here.
Good luck to you.
This stalker won't be alerting the others anymore.
Glorious death! I will breathe his last with his blade in hand!
That's Randall's voice. It sounds like he's in bad shape.
The knight thanks his friend for coming to his aid. He is surprised to find that he is happy to still be alive.
There was no way I was going to leave you like that. Come on, let's get you out of here. Relmar, do you know how to get back to the camp? We'll meet back there. She was a tough one. Now I can see what Blackfrost saw in her. Spunky. We can cross that off the list. That little bitch won't be ruining the sewers with her rotting waste anymore.
Another great victory. But a more perilous battle still awaits us.
I think we've pretty much taken care of the concubines. That just leaves the Guardian and the palace.
The knight cannot wait to see this battle. Perhaps the knight's friend would like to say his goodbyes at the camp.
Obviously, we need to be ready for the palace. But as far as the camp goes, if I go back, it won't be to say goodbye. I'm planning on winning this fight. Okay, this is the moment where I politely suggest you tuck your tail between all those legs, run away and let us pass without looking back.
And what reason could I possibly have for doing you a favor like that, little being?
Well, to save your ass, pretty much. You must have sensed that your time was near when I dusted your sisters.
They were never my sisters, insolent one, and you have accomplished nothing. My daughters are inferior to me in every way, as are you.
Ah, motherly love. I never got it. Basically, I'm making this offer to you out of principle, but I'm really hoping you're going to make me rip you a third one in battle. Those other two are for pooping, right?
So be it. It will be my pleasure to grant you your last request.
How fascinating. You are about to actually penetrate the realm of Lord Blackfrost. But do not fool yourself. You did not win your passage alone. It was the evil Lord himself who opened the way inside.
He's testing me.
Yes, and it would appear he now knows what to expect. This should be one of the most fascinating confrontations of the last several thousand years. I simply cannot wait to see the outcome.
Yeah? Well, I can't wait to get it over with. It's time to take care of Black Frost.
If you're certain you've taken care of your affairs here, I can see no reason to delay the inevitable any further.
We've waited long enough. All of his defenses are down. The concubines are dead. We need to strike now before he has time to react.
So be it. Let's do it.
My new protege. So happy you could make it. You took your time about it, but I can see that you've made some real progress. Yes, you have.
Yeah, well, your concubines won't be progressing anywhere, ever. From now on, you're on your own, and there's no escape.
Well, that was never my intention. I'm in my realm here. You and your companions are my guests. Oh, it seems that you too have lost some friends along the way. How very sad. More than most, I know how fragile a friendly alliance can be.
Tonight we'll tear out your tongue just before he watches you die.
Let's see how well you do without all your slaves.
Very well. In 6,000 years of existence, I don't think I've ever had a day quite as interesting as this one. Vulcan, my dear, this was a fight that deserves to be included in the history books, and I will make certain that it is. You may count on me to tell future generations about your exploits, if there is a future, that is. But that, of course, will depend on you.
I guess that's what we're all fighting for. But I'm not finished yet.
Clearly. And that is precisely why we are here. Each Ice Lord possesses the means to gain access to the World Heart from his or her own palace. It would doubtless be prudent to borrow this one before the other Ice Lords have time to react. I would have loved to accompany you, but I fear your destiny is to continue alone. The World Heart obeys neither the same rules nor the same magic as does the rest of Vertial. What you find there will be exactly what you bring.
You mean I'm going to end up confronted by myself?
I hope for your sake it does not turn out to be a confrontation, but it is highly probable that what you find there will be familiar to you.
We'll see.
You are come.
I said I would come.
But thou hast taken thy time. When thou didst flee, leaving me here, at the mercy of these sorcerers, what didst thou think would become of me? Didst thou e'en take time to think?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He speaketh to me.
What? Since when did I... You...
I did not lie to thee. I had no choice. I had to seize this chance to escape and find a way to fight back, lest we be enslaved here for all eternity. Eternity? Dost thou know how slow the hours pass when thou art the prey of 6 humans, consumed by their lust for power and vengeance? I know this as well as thee. Thou dost not. Thou knowest nothing. I too made use of the confusion. I riposted. I struck back at them, weakened them. But thou hast abandoned me to them. But now I am returned, and together we will crush them. Is't true? Thou art returned.
You let that sorceress get away just as soon as you were no longer of any use to her. You have no control, no authority, no charisma.
You're just about as disagreeable as you were when you were alive.
You weren't even able to keep safe those few who begged you for help. How can you possibly believe you have what it takes to save all of Vertiel from the Ice Lords?
You prefer to take it by force. Condemn the freeborn blades to your pride and incompetence.
Captain.
Blinded by his small ambitions, the mercenary did not even take the trouble to save those elven soldiers who called to him for help. Shameful.
You want to be the captain? You didn't even have the brains to make good decisions when you alone were concerned.
I knew that thou wouldst allow these humans to corrupt thee.
A dragon? You summoned a dragon?
Huh. One of the few they were able to corrupt, and I turned it against them. Blackstorm defeated it and imprisoned it here. It was trapped. Like me.
So now you turned it against me?
It is thee who has turned against me, abandoning me here, left to pay the price for each and all of thy errors in thy stead, whilst I did all I could to help thee to return. And so it is, I am come to the end of my strength, an empty shell o'ertaken with rot. I did not wish to harm thee, but I no longer am master of all that I do.
Is that why you killed my companions?
The visions. Blame rather thy human half, for that is who hath invoked them, with its fear and its regrets. Thy companions never traveled through the breach.
So it comes to this. You and me. It's time we ended this.
Ha! It is all I have awaited. Remove these accursed lances from me, and let the world heart become whole once more.
World Heart. We made it.
Much blood was spilled to bring us here. Let us make sure it was not in vain. Now you are faced with a difficult choice. My people are decimated, and the humans as well. No matter what happens tomorrow, today Virtue is a ruin.
We're here, Ramfall. This is the World Heart.
The knight congratulates his friend on the forthcoming victory. They were able to keep true to their quest, though the price was great. And now only one test remains. Only one last choice, so that all will be resolved. The life of the knight has been spared by his friend. Now it is the fate of the world that is at stake. The faithful friend will remember his duty. The Ice Lords must perish.
This is it. The World Heart. You didn't think I would make it, but here I am. So did your books prepare you for this?
No books can prepare you for this vision, but they can help you to know what to do here. You stand at the crossroads of the world's destiny. And do you know what you must do?
No, I have absolutely no idea.
I am gone from Vertiel. All that I believed in is gone. You abandoned me. All that I knew is lost, like tears in the rain. Whatever happens to this world no longer concerns me. You are alone with your choices.
The flame will burn bright anew, and the necromancers will be the first into the fire.
If I remove these spears, the Ice Lords will lose their power. But what will happen to Vertiel?
Thy world is weary, all but extinguished. Nothing remains to be saved. It must be cleansed.
But inside me is all the power I need to regenerate my world.
At the cost of mine? Do not think it. Vertiel needs the World Heart. Thou canst not sacrifice it thus.
There are still dragons, and this way the necromancers will be destroyed. The fire of the World Heart is not completely out. It will burn bright again, in time.
But without us, I forbid thee to do this. I will not die for thee.
And so ends the tragic, though nonetheless heroic tale of Vulcan Half-Demon. I confess I may have romanticized some aspects of the story, though in my defense, I shall always have something of a soft spot for our dear Vulcan. By releasing the World Heart's energy to the surface, he sacrificed himself in order to heal Vertial and bring an end to the long winter. Ill-prepared for such a powerful energy surge, the Ice Lords were instantly reduced to cinders. I can tell you, no tears were shed at that funeral. Of course, it was only a few centuries before other would-be mages attempted to follow in their footsteps, though what wonderful centuries they were. Edwin's corpse was mutilated and burned by the command of King Relmar. Such a waste. I remember being quite disappointed at his decision, as I had hoped I might be able to inhabit her body. It had been an absolute age since I was last inside a woman. To no one's great surprise, Relmar proved to be a formidable monarch. Strong, just, and loved by all. He returned a sense of pride to the elves that the war had stolen from them. The Red Scribes... really... Don't get me started on those imbeciles. Nonetheless, it would be uncouth of me not to mention how heartbroken young Sybil was by Vulcan's death. Proud to have fought alongside such a courageous companion, the beautiful young scribe lifted her head high and transformed her grief into purpose. She quickly gained the respect of her peers and was elected chief scribe shortly afterwards when Liestas died quite suddenly. Apparently, the fool succumbed after having imbibed a large quantity of a somewhat questionable nectar that he and his doctor had invented. And as for myself, well, my goodness, I fear that is an extremely long story, and you would quite literally die of boredom before I finished the telling of it. But you see, that's what I like so much about mortals. Their stories last just about the right amount of time. Give or take a few decades. And then they're done. And then they come around again. One thing is certain, I have all the time in the world. So who knows? I may get to tell you other tales. If you live long enough. Toodle-pip.